CBS4 takes a virtual field trip on Grasslands Live. Thanks to our sponsors, including our presenting sponsor, Whiting Petroleum, committed to creating strong communities and a clean environment.
Welcome to Grasslands Live, a distance learning adventure. My name is Dave Aguilera, and I'll be your host for today's program. This program is being brought to you by CBS4 Denver, the U.S. Forest Service, and many other partners. Let's take a look at the map now and see exactly where we are today. You can see the Pawnee National Grassland is located in northern Colorado in Weld County near the border with Wyoming. Now, I have a special guest for us today. I'd like to introduce you to Rick TRUEX, who is with the Rocky Mountain region for the U.S. Forest Service. He's a regional wildlife program leader. Rick, good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
Come on in here. Thank you for joining us today. He's here to tell us all about the National Grasslands, including the Pawnee, where we are today, right?
Very good. Well, welcome everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Pawnee National Grassland. As Dave said, I work for the U.S. Forest Service, and we are responsible for managing all national forests and national grasslands across the country. A lot of people know about the national forest, but not as many know about the grasslands. And in addition to national forests, we manage 20 national grasslands and 1 tall grass prairie preserve that total about 4 million acres.
4 million acres?
Yep, 4 million acres of grasslands.
That's huge. Now behind us, everybody's looking at the Pawnee Buttes here. Can we talk a little bit about those magnificent land structures we have out there?
So if you can imagine being here 100 million years ago, this would have all been underwater. At that time, there was a huge inland sea throughout a lot of the interior part of North America. As the Earth's crust shifted and the sea drained, it left behind sediments which hardened into siltstone and sandstone. And then through years and years of erosion, it leaves behind these harder structures like the buttes and some of the other structures out here. So it's a great example of a long time process that leaves these remarkable features on the landscape.
So all of that is just sea deposits that have built up over millions and millions of years. Pretty amazing. Now I'd like to introduce you to some of our local students here today from Dos Rios Elementary School in Evans, Colorado. Come on in. Britton Robbins, she's going to tell us exactly what we're going to learn with the program. So why don't you guys take it away here. Britton, and you are in what grade?
5th.
5th grade at Dos Rios Elementary. So tell us about what you guys are going to learn today.
We are going to be learning about what a grassland is and the importance of grasslands to people, the importance of grasslands to animals, especially migrating birds, the problems facing the grasslands, and lastly, what we can do to help.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. And I know you've got all of your friends back here that came with you. How was the bus ride up here today?
Long.
Long, it was long. Well, thank you. Now, what they're going to also be doing is becoming citizen scientists by doing citizen science activities during our program, and they'll be reporting back throughout the afternoon. All right. Thank you, Britton. We're going to bring Allison now in here. Hi, Allison. Good morning.
Dave. Good morning.
This is Allison Fowle. She's with the Bird Conservancy of the Rockies. Allison, why don't we tell everybody who's watching today just what it is to be a citizen scientist and what you have planned for today?
Yeah. So citizen science is just another way to say that people of any age and from anywhere can contribute to science by sharing their knowledge and their observations of what's around them. Today, we're going to be using our binoculars, our ears, and our field guides to find as many birds as we can, and we'll be counting the variety of species that we see as well as the number of individuals. Later, we're going to share those observations online with a citizen science project called eBird.
Now, as we look at the land surrounding us, we want to figure out what type of grass that we see, and we have some examples here, don't we?
Yeah, we do. So here we've got blue grama, and this is a grass that's pretty common in the grasslands, but this also will occur up in the foothills area, up in the ponderosa pine forests up there.
Oh, okay.
And then on this side, we've got buffalo grass, and this is really a true grassland grass. And as you might guess from the name buffalo grass, this is an important food source for bison. We don't have bison out here on the prairie, on the Pawnee National Grassland, but we do have cattle, and the cattle will graze this as well. So it's a really important forage resource for the cattle that we permit to graze on the landscape. And I want to just tell you another interesting thing about this. It forms a very dense root mat, and it kind of leaps and then forms sod, essentially. So the early European settlers, when they were coming out, they would cut blocks of sod out of the ground and build houses for shelter.
So, and it also is important if you get like heavy rains out here for stopping.
It helps absorb the water as it comes out. Yep, it's got a very fine root mat that helps absorb the water that does come.
All righty, now that we know what grasslands are and some of the history of grasslands, let's talk about how grasslands are important to people and wildlife of all kinds. With me is Susan Johnson. She works for the U.S. Forest Service in tribal relations. Susan, thank you for coming out today. Appreciate you being here.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much.
I love your necklace, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Very
it's a
nice.
beautiful necklace that I'm wearing today.
Good deal. Let's start right off the bat. I understand that you are Native American.
I am Native American. I belong to two tribes. On my mother's side, I'm a Rikara Hirazan Mandan from North Dakota. And on my father's side, I am White Earth Chippewa from Minnesota. There are about 566 federally recognized tribes that live in the United States, including Alaska, each with our own language, governance, and way of life.
How many tribes used to reside on the grasslands?
Many tribes used to live on the grasslands over time immemorial. By the 1800s, there were approximately 32 tribes living and hunting, sustaining themselves on the grasslands. Because of the tribes in the grasslands were semi-nomadic, they would move to where there was hunting. But there were several tribes, including my own, that made permanent habitats next to rivers, and we actually grew corn, squash, peas, and we would hunt for bison and for deer. And so we had a very beautiful life. Several of the tribes did use teepees because it's a very convenient form of creating habitat.
So that's part of the culture.
Part of the culture.
The environment kind of drove the culture a little bit, right?
Yes, it did. Let's say that we are a Native American family, and we have our extended family, our grandpas and our grandmas and our cousins, and we are moving to a traditional hunting grounds, and we're taking our habitat with us, which is in the form of teepees. Teepees are erected very quickly. They're great habitats, and you put hide around them. When the people who were responsible for finding our camping sites found one, they would say, this is the place that we're going to be, and they would come and tap down the grass in a circle. While they were doing that, they would pray and sing a song so that while the people were there, while the families were there, that they would be protected and that the hunting would be good for us.
Grass dance, right?
The grass dance.
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
Good job.
Now let's move up to present day. How are Native Americans and the grasslands intertwined today?
Well, there are approximately, and I'm being very general here, about 39 federally recognized tribes who are affiliated and or still live very closely to the Great Plains grasses and also the Southern Plains. As a little girl, though, our people are still very much utilitarians of our natural environment. And one of the particular plants that we are very fond of is a tall, beautiful, handsome pink flower called echinacea. Echinacea provides medicine for us, and we use it when we're having a sore throat or a headache.
That's a popular plant to use these days, right?
People can find it in the grocery store, even right now.
You make tea out of it?
Make tea out of it. You can make a tincture out of it, and it's used for pain medicine.
Oh my gosh. Let's talk a little bit about how animals are used and how really our animals are there for survival, basically, right?
That's correct. One of the very important, and we just heard a little bit about it, was the American bison, buffalo. At least here in the Great Plains, the Indian people revere the bison because it provided food, shelter, and a way of life for our people to be successful on the grasslands. And so because of that, we have a great deal of reverence for it. Even today, it informed our culture, it informed our songs, our prayers, our governance, and our way of life. And we still are very closely affiliated to the bison as a very important animal to us today.
In fact, today, ranching is an important part, an important economic activity that happens every day on the grasslands. I recently had a chance to talk with Katie MEREWETHER, whose family has been in Colorado for several generations, and she shared what it's like to ranch in this area.
So, Katie, first let's just start off with how you got involved in ranching.
Well, it's been in my family for 3 generations now. My great-grandparents lived on the same ranch that my parents now operate and run. And they homesteaded it over 100 years ago, and we've been there ever since.
How vibrant is the ranching community in Colorado these days?
Well, it's an integral part of Colorado. Farming and ranching have been some of the largest staples of our economy for a long time. Not just cattle, but pigs, wheat, corn, sunflower seeds now. It's a big part, and it's always growing and changing.
Now, your ranch is in a town called Carville in Colorado, and it's something interesting has been happening there in regards to the mountain plover.
Yeah, it's a fairly rare bird that thrives on areas with open ground, so grazed pastures are ideal places for them to live. They've been harder to spot over the years because they're a lot on private land, but what we've done is we've started a plover festival where people can come in and see this rare bird and live with local ranch owners for a weekend and spot this bird that's a prize for birders. We've been working to do grazing on rotation. Some of the local farmers will mark plover nests so that they don't run them over, so they can save them. In general, it's protecting areas which are especially vulnerable. So riparian areas, we can fence those off so that they continue to be healthy and a long-term resource. It really sort of opened my eyes to the land as a whole, as how it works as a unit. So you don't just have cattle, you don't just have chickens, you have coyotes, you have prairie dogs, which are the bane of your existence, but they're also the basis of this incredible ecosystem that supports burrowing owls, that supports mountain plovers, that supports peregrine falcons, hawks, and it all works together. And so I became really interested in not just wildlife, but birds specifically too.
Really, in order for ranching to survive, you have to make sure that the grasslands survive, right? They kind of go hand in hand.
They do, absolutely. And a healthy grassland leads to a healthy ranch, and vice versa. If you have a good sustainable ranch, it's a healthy grassland.
Sustainable ranching practices help not only cattle but also wildlife. But the grasslands are home to more industry than you may realize. Our presenting sponsor, Whiting Petroleum, shares its vision for being a productive and caring member of this community.
I like living out here because of the open space. You got fresh air, you can hear the birds singing, you have the wildlife.
You know, the place has been in the family for over 100 years now, and still doing quite well. This is classified as semi-arid desert, and it is. Most people don't care for it out here. You know, the people that are from here love it.
Well, I lived right here for, oh gosh, almost 40 years. We farm and ranch, raise wheat, corn, millet, sunflowers, cattle. That's all I ever wanted to do.
Grasslands, you see cattle. It's something that it cannot go away. Grassland is much important to the environment as anything else.
You know, there's been more oil production, a little more traffic that goes along with it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, you're changing my life. You're going to be in the very, very low numbers. I've actually kind of enjoyed it out here with all the oil stuff going on, because it's a whole new experience for me.
What I would like people to know is that we target all of our development with an eye toward low impact. We want to minimize our footprint on the surface. We want to utilize infrastructure and technology where possible to leave the landscape as least disturbed as possible and be as responsible a neighbor and operator as we can.
I think a lot of people don't understand where energy comes from, and oil is a part of that energy that is fueling the way we all live our lives, from how you turn on your light switch in the morning and there's electricity there, to getting in your car, to even so many of the devices we use, cell phones, bicycles, everything comes from petroleum in one sense or another.
For instance, to raise a wheat crop, you plant the seed, you use diesel fuel to put that seed in the ground, you use fuel to harvest it, you use fuel to haul it to market to the elevator, and then they have to get it to the flour mill, so they use energy. It takes energy to grind it into flour. It's very interrelated.
People I've worked with in oil and gas have great reverence for the outdoors, and we want to make as minimal an impact as possible while still extracting the oil and energy that's so necessary for modern life.
We view coming out to an area like the grasslands and operating as a responsibility. We have employees who are from here. Our founder actually is just from a couple miles down the road even. This is an area that we consider our home. It's important to us to take care of it and make sure that the animals that are here, the water that was here when we came, the air that everyone is breathing is all remaining intact and stays that way even long after we're gone.
How about coming here to just get away and relax or something like that, and just kind of appreciate the beauty of this area? You could do that too, right?
You bet.
Right.
As you can see, there's an awful lot that you could explore out here, and we have a lot of recreation on our grasslands. There's hiking, there's biking, there's camping, and there's all sorts of stuff. And here in the Pawnee in particular, this area has been identified by the Audubon Society as an important bird and biodiversity area. So this area is globally important for bird conservation.
Starting with birds here, I'd like to introduce you to Aaron Youngberg with the Bird Conservancy of the Rockies. Aaron, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good to be here.
Good to have you here. Let's start out with why the grasslands are so important to the birds.
Well, there's three really important things about birds and grasslands. The birds are actually essential for the grassland ecosystem to function. They help disperse seeds, they fertilize the soil with their droppings, they help to control insects and rodents, and they also serve as food items for other animals. And grasslands also provide a stopover habitat for birds migrating through, including shorebirds and other waterfowl that might actually stop and nest in the prairie wetlands.
These birds have a long way to fly too.
They do, thousands of miles, some of them are coming. So they really need these places to stop and rest and they refuel. And thirdly, and possibly the most important, there are 29 species of birds that can only breed in the grasslands. And such a small group can easily be overlooked, especially compared to some of our more colorful or vocal species that we see in the forests. And as a result, the population declines of grassland birds has gone largely unnoticed until recently. And now grassland birds are actually a conservation priority. So it's really important that we work together to conserve healthy grasslands because these birds can't adapt to any other habitat.
So what is the Bird Conservancy of the Rockies doing to help these grassland birds right now?
Well, Bird Conservancy works to conserve habitat by working with landowners, ranchers, farmers, and public entities like the Forest Service. We also do a lot of public outreach with our citizen science projects like the students are doing today. And we work with children both inside and outside the classroom. We also do a lot of research to learn about birds and what they need.
Let's talk about the research. What are you guys researching?
Well, we do a lot of research. Birds migrate, so we do a lot of research both where they breed in the summer and where they spend the winter time. And more than any other animal, birds tell us the connectivity of the grasslands because birds use grasslands both in Mexico, in the US, and in Canada. They don't recognize our national borders.
So they're not flying around with maps, seeing where they're supposed to go or their GPS, right?
No, it's really amazing. And as you can see on the map, it shows where the grasslands once stretched from Canada across the Great Plains and down into Mexico and from the Rocky Mountains as far east as Ohio.
Wow.
But with a lot of habitat loss, we've also had a great loss in the number of birds. So we're working with the Audubon Society, the U.S. Forest Service, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, partners in the U.S. and Mexico, to do an integrated demographic study on two particular species that have shown steep declines, the Baird's sparrow and the grasshopper sparrow. And an integrated demographic study just means that we're doing research both where they spend the summer and where they spend the winter.
Well, now let's talk about other species that we find on the grasslands. And joining me is Lynn Dybell with the Wildlife Program Management Department for the Arapahoe and Roosevelt National Forest and the Pawnee National Grassland as well. Lynn, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Dave.
Good to see you. Good to see you this morning. So what other birds might people see here at the grasslands?
We can find magnificent raptors out on the grasslands, including right here on our own Pawnee Buttes. You can find golden eagles, ferruginous hawk, and Swainson's hawk. And if it's songbirds you're into, we have some beautiful meadowlarks.
We can hear them now.
Yep, we can hear the meadowlarks, loggerhead shrike, as well as lark bunting.
So how about animals? You know, we were talking a lot about birds, but there's a ton of animals out
there
here
are.
too, right?
You can find the full suite of mammals, reptiles, amphibian, and fish. So for example, as you're driving along on your way into the grasslands, you're likely to see pronghorn alongside of the road, and they are one of the fastest animals on earth, reaching speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. So if you're driving along and you happen to see one, take a quick glance at your speedometer and see how fast they're going.
You might get a ticket if you're keeping up with the pronghorns, right?
Yeah. And a less common animal that you might see would be the swift fox. They're nocturnal, so they're mostly out in the evenings. But badger are also another common mammal that you would find on the grasslands.
Okay. I know there's one mammal in particular that is especially associated with the grasslands.
Yes, Dave, that would be the prairie dog. Prairie dogs are considered a keystone species because they are key to the functionality of a healthy grassland system. There's thought to be over 150 different species that are dependent on prairie dogs for food, shelter, and habitat creation.
Now tell us a little bit about the relationship of the prairie dog and another animal that's real big out here too. I know the black-footed ferret. I didn't even know those were out here.
Well, we don't have black-footed ferrets on the Pawnee National Grassland, but we do have them on grasslands in North America. And that's a really interesting story because up until 1981, the black-footed ferret was thought to be extinct, and they found a population of them in Wyoming, just north of here. And when those few ferrets were discovered, scientists took them into captivity and started a breeding program. And since that time, they have reintroduced ferrets at 24 different locations across North America. The way that prairie dogs are key to the success of the black-footed ferret is that prairie dogs make up 90% of a black-footed ferret's diet. So that's a lot of prairie dogs for a black-footed ferret to eat. The other way that they contribute to the success of black-footed ferret is they use the prairie dog's very complex system of burrows that are underground, and that's where black-footed ferrets raise their young and protect themselves from predators as well as the elements.
One fascinating resource that can be found on many grasslands, including the Pawnee, are fossils. Did you know that many states have a state fossil? And the state fossil of Colorado is the Stegosaurus. So we want to find out what fossils we could find in our grasslands, and you brought us a few examples, haven't you?
Sure, we'll talk about the examples that we brought, but before that, I just want to tell you a little bit about some of the interpretive sites that we have for fossil resources in our national grasslands. We do have fossils in a lot of our grasslands, and there are 3 sites in particular I'd like to mention. One is the Toadstool Geologic Park in northwestern Nebraska, the Picket Wire Canyon down on the Comanche National Grassland in southeastern Colorado, and the Bull Canyon site out in Utah. And the Toadstool Geologic Area is a really fascinating place. They've got ancient mammals that are there where you can see tracks in the rock, and they've got critters such as entelodonts, which are ancient pigs. And in addition to that, we have a critter up there that's similar to a hyena called a hyenodon. So we've got all kinds of crazy animals up there that have been uncovered as fossils up at Toadstool. Okay. But probably my favorite is the Picket Wire Canyon. And this is an area down in southeastern Colorado where used to be this ancient lake bed, and we had a lot of big dinosaurs down there. There's a trail that takes you from the trailhead up through some important cultural sites out to what we call the raceway. And out here we have a lot of these sauropods, these really huge dinosaurs with long necks that would be plant eaters, and they would leave tracks in the rock, in the mud there, which over time formed into the limestone as prints that have been fossilized. So we've got over 1,600 individual tracks up there, including some tracks in parallel. What do you think those are?
So in parallel, so families?
So it could be families. That's one of the guesses, and they definitely think it's.
Or they were
now.
Actually racing.
Yeah, that one. We call it a racetrack. But what triggered to believe it is family groups is that you have tracks of different sizes. So you've got apparently family groups traveling together along this what's now a riverbed. So it's really fascinating stuff down there.
Now we actually have some hands-on stuff here. I wish we could invite everybody just to come in and touch this, but we'll try to show them what you got here.
Sure. So right here we have 4 replicas, and I'll show them to you kind of in order of size. Okay. And these are all from an Allosaurus, which was a theropod, and they were the dinosaurs that stood on 2 legs and had short forearms and were meat eaters. Okay. So what we have here is a tooth from. Oh,
that's a tooth.
That's a tooth. So we'll kind of dress up here, and then we have a claw. So now we're kind of being a dinosaur, and then in addition to these 2 little guys, we've got a hip bone.
Hip bone.
Yep. So you can imagine, that being about what this is on us.
Okay. And that was connected to the knee bone, right?
You're going to do that.
Is that how it goes? Okay.
Hip bone connected to the knee bone. Yeah.
And the knee bone's connected to the ankle bone.
Shin bone.
Right? Okay. Oh, shin bone. I forgot about the shin bone. Okay.
And then the last one we have is an actual vertebra from the backbone. So this would be sitting like this, stacked up through the spine of the dinosaur.
So you'd have a whole bunch of these as the spine of the dinosaur.
Yep,
Wow.
exactly. So
That
these are
is
all from Allosaurus, which did occur in Colorado.
Okay.
And I've been told that Allosaurus actually would battle sometimes with Stegosaurus. So here we've got
Oh.
a replica of what battled with our state dinosaur.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I know we have a big kahuna over here.
We do.
I wonder if shall we pick this baby up and bring it over, or you guys want to go with us and follow us over here?
Okay, well,
This is the
let's show
Fred
you what we've got
Flintstone
here.
bone, right?
So this right here, if you can believe it, is the thigh bone, is a femur of a
Diplococcus?
We'll go with that.
Anybody?
Diplodocus.
Diplodocus.
Diplodocus, there it is.
Diplodocus.
That's the one that was so hard.
Diplodocus, okay.
So here's a femur of another one of these big sauropods, like Brontosaurus and those, and this is from Diplodocus. And you can imagine if this femur is almost as tall as I am, how big this dinosaur must have been.
Before we end our program, I'd like to ask each one of our experts to summarize what they would have us all do to help conserve these beautiful national treasures.
Grasslands are full of life. Next time you're out in our grasslands, think of what they mean to you and why they're important. Look for burrowing owls in prairie dog towns and ducks in our wetlands. Spread the word about the importance of grasslands. And remember, grasslands are important not just for birds and wildlife, but also for people too. It's in our best interest to be good stewards of these resources.
It's important to respect and honor all cultures that are indigenous to the grasslands of the United States.
It's important to keep native grasslands intact. There's great value in managing the land so that it's not fragmented. The ecosystem services are greater in larger parcels. And grasslands have many benefits as recreation spaces, as wildlife habitat. They also store lots of carbon in the soil. It makes the land more valuable as natural spaces to us and to wildlife, rather than turn into cities or other developments.
Hi, our national forests and grasslands belong to all of us, and we invite you to get out and enjoy them. But we ask that you please do so responsibly. That means staying on the trails, don't litter, and enjoy wildlife from a safe distance. Also, our national parks and waterways are out there waiting for you to discover them. And if you're a fourth grader, you can get a free pass to enjoy these lands. Just go to everykidinapark.gov and you'll get a free pass for you and your family. So get out there, America. It's all yours.
It is all ours. Thanks to the Forest Service and our partners for making this Grasslands Live field trip possible.
CBS4 takes a virtual field trip on Grasslands Live, thanks to our sponsors, including our presenting sponsor, Whiting Petroleum, committed to creating strong communities and a clean environment.